It's my first time in San Fernando.
Yeah. Can see yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sir, I'll go ahead first. Sir, what's the update on your IPO?
Yeah, we just actually we have a board meeting on the May 25th, and we are in the process of going through all the regulatory issues with PSC. We need some clearances from the board to wipe out our negative equity. So hopefully we can announce something in the next month or so as to precise timing.
Sir, are you still gunning for $250 million US, or do you have a higher threshold?
Well, let's get to the position that we can IPO, then see what the bankers feel our valuation is.
But as of now, any ballpark figure? Is it still
No,
250?
none
Not yet.
No.
Sir,
I would hope it'd be more than 250, to be honest. We're doing very well at the Philippines.
sir, but where do you intend to invest the money that you'll garner?
Yeah, well, that's a better question. We're now at this crossroads. You know, we've had a very tough time. We had a baptism of fire when we came in here. We weren't kind of warmly welcomed by our competitors. They did everything to eradicate us. And now we've crossed over that. That made us tougher, smarter, and we're now in a good position. So Philippines is probably the best kept secret. And there's so much to see, so many places to go, but the connectivity is poor. So what we're trying to do is build more connectivity, and one of the reasons we're here is we're big believers in Clark, and there's many more Clark opportunities in the Philippines. So the investment would be in growing the airline and building new routes and adding more aircraft.
Sir, so far you've set your sights on which destinations? Other Clark destinations?
You know, because all your newspapers and websites will be read by Lasco Conway in about 5 minutes after you do this. I'm not about to announce our strategy live on TV. But wait and see. I mean, we've been innovative in what we do. We're about to start Manila, Busan, that we can announce that. I'm very proud to say in July, we open for sale tomorrow, I think, or day after tomorrow. Clark, Taipei. So a lot of exciting routes. As I said, Philippines is the best kept secret, and we're out to open that.
Sir, just on a separate note, speaking of different routes, different destinations, how did the Boracay closure affect your...
For sure. You know, I want to say that the Boracay closure was a great eye-opener for all of us, and we have this sustainability group where we have talked about the environment and all these things, but Boracay really brought a few things home to me, that actually we bring millions of tourists that could actually destroy the very essence of the place, and we have plans to open up new destinations. So we've set up this very strong group where we've been working with the Swedish government and many others to teach us that when we go into a new destination, part of deciding a new destination is also to make sure that we meet the local people, to know what kind of jobs they want, to know what areas they don't want touched, and to make sure that the infrastructure can take a wave of tourists. On the positive side, and I deem Boracay as a positive, because I think it opened all our eyes to what is happening around in the world through mass growth of tourism. This is one of the negatives of tourism, and we must have sustainable tourism. But we were able to redirect traffic to other parts. We were quite nimble in that, and so there wasn't a massive impact for us.
Sir, tell us about the trend. After the closure of the most popular beach destination in the Philippines, where do you see your clients, your passengers flocking
Well, we've
to
been
next?
moving to Cebu, we've been moving to Palawan, Bohol. As I said, there's so much in this amazing country, and some just come to Manila. So we redeployed capacity very quickly, and it's credit to Captain Dexter and the team that were able to do that very quickly.
Sir, last question from my end. Sir, you mentioned that the Boracay incident was an eye-opener for your group. Now, once the island opens by late October, do you intend to keep or sustain the number of flights there, or do you...
No, we will continue. I mean, I think there we assume that everything's fixed, so we're not going to do a sustainable study, because I think that's quite a huge national packages. So we will just resume flights. It is a beautiful place and people want to go there, so we'll continue.
Sir, last follow-up na, sorry. Sir, you said that you've diverted your flights to other destinations. Were seat sales affected?
No.
No, not at all.
I assumed it was going to be, but unless they made up the numbers.
Sir,
No, we were able to cope with and redirect the traffic to.
The good thing is we were given enough warning.
Yes.
We were tipped off to it, before. It wasn't a sudden 24 hours. We were given.
Sir, schedule is still second half.
I would hope so. A lot of it is out of my hands. The regulators have to approve certain things, etc. So I hope it would be this year.
Just to give us a glance, how big is the Philippine market right now for the Air Asia?
We're as an AOC, we would be the fourth largest in passengers, but it's growing very rapidly.
In terms of passenger traffic,
Yeah.
how much percentage does the Philippines account for?
I don't know. I'm not saying this facetiously, but I really have gone away from looking at Philippines or Indonesia or Malaysia. I really think of ASEAN and the rest. So I never really look at those numbers because to me it's one AirAsia. So, but the Philippines is growing. It's a very important part of the jigsaw puzzle. It sits on the border of three huge economies: Korea, Japan, and China. So there's a natural tendency. And I also see a lot of benefit when I was talking to the governor here today, of allowing Filipinos to travel outside of just domestic destinations, going to Korea, going to the Philippines, and allowing Filipino businessmen to take their products outside of their natural comfort zone. I think that's what AirAsia is able to do. Those are the three facets.
Back to the initial public offering, which would come first, the listing of AirAsia Philippines or AirAsia as a group?
AirAsia Group is listed already.
It's already listed.
It's already listed. It happened last 3 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big day for me because now I can start working on trying to make it all one, right? And obviously I want Philippines as a tradable share because that means it's easier to evaluate.
How is it, the listing of the group?
Group was good. It was well accepted. It was very smooth. So now AirAsia Group owns 100% of Malaysia, 40% of Philippines, 49% of Indonesia, 45% of Thailand. And so eventually I hope we can swap those shares into one company. So let's say the 60% owned by Filipinos would be able to go up to AirAsia Group. So they wouldn't just have a share of Philippines, but a share of the whole airline. That's the idea. So Indonesia's listed, so Philippines is the last one of the ASEAN AOCs to be listed.
In what specific phase are you right now in the Philippines?
Oh, really growth phase. Very much growth. We've crossed that barrier, where this was like, oh my God, it's a pain in the ass, and we're losing so much money, and everyone hates us. I like seeing decks now. So I come here now. It's like, we're growing. My stomach's going down, right? But we're going to be growing.
But this has been in discussions with the Philippine Stock Exchange.
Yes.
So how are they?
Yeah, they've been great, very supportive. Obviously, we're a good brand for the stock exchange to be on. But we have lots of issues that need to be resolved, from listing issues, negative equity, treating our losses differently because we're an airline. So we work through those. But they've been very supportive, I have to say.
We have 5 more minutes.
Sir, any update on your plan to build an SAU holding company?
That's step 1 is AirAsia Group is now in action. Step 2 is now to list all the companies, which Philippines is the last one. Step 3 would be to persuade governments that it's better we have 1 economic unit for ASEAN than 5 economic units.
So just going back to Boracay, any estimates on the losses on your top line?
No, very minimal.
So the additional.
I mean, it's quite amazingly very minimal, to be honest.
So even ballpark, can you give us now?
You like want us to be upset, right? You're like Tony Fernandes is fucked off. I mean, so, no, it's okay. It's all right.
Sir, any outlook for the airline industry for the rest of the year?
Well, I mean, you know, we've got this oil is going up a little bit, but that's never been a problem for us. We'll find a way through ancillary income, etc. But there's always timing gaps. I'm an oil bear. I always have been an oil bear. We've got a lot of speculation. We've got Donald Trump. We've got Iran issues, North Korea issues, and they're great for speculators, right? They're great for traders. But I believe oil is really at 50. But take aside all of that, I think economies are good. ASEAN has created an internal tourism market. When I look at the people that are coming here from Thailand, from Malaysia, it never happened. And I see Filipinos. You know, today everyone was asking me in the Clark area, when are you doing Clark, Bangkok? So we've really created an internal tourism flow, which is great. And foreigners, I say foreigners, those outside of ASEAN, are beginning to see ASEAN as a destination. So they may go to Boracay in Singapore, or Kuala Lumpur and Jakarta. You know, so I'm very bullish. The last part of my bullishness for our industry is that people are talking about low-cost airports and beginning to understand that there's a difference between low-cost and full service. For 16 years, I've been beating this message that there's 5-star hotels, there's 3-star hotels. You know, there's a full-service airline, there's Rolls-Royce, and there's a Mini. But it was a hard message to get across. Everyone just knew one type of airport. When I meet congressmen now, they're telling me what is a low-cost terminal is. They're lecturing me about fast turnarounds and stuff, right? It's kind of, I don't mind being lectured, but you know, I was the preacher, so it's great to be lectured back.
Sir, other airlines operating here in the Philippines are suffering from what they call pilot brain drain. Is AirAsia also affected by this phenomenon?
No.
Why, sir?
They like us, maybe? No,
It's the culture, maybe. The culture we've developed inside.
Can you describe to us the culture, sir? That
The
has
culture.
cushioned you from that phenomenon.
The culture, no, I mean, I think the culture plays a part, but love goes so far. You've got to be paid well as well, right? I mean, there's a certain amount the crew behind will say they love Captain Dex, but if he doesn't pay them well, they'll say bye-bye.
So it's
We're off.
basically competitive pay.
I think competitive pay, good culture, growth. There's a very strong pride in Philippines AirAsia because we fought hard to get to where we are. So people, you know, they knew that our backs were against the wall. But and the fourth thing is also we've invested heavily in training. We never took any shortcuts. Shortcuts are stealing pilots from other airlines. The harder job is to develop your own pilots from cadet school. And I think we've been very, very fortuitous and far-sightedness in being able to invest early. We took very early decisions in, you know, a lot of airlines cut out half the workforce by not having women. You know, we were one of the first airlines in ASEAN to have female pilots. We have the highest number of female pilots than even America, than any American airline. Over 7%. We now have about 150 female pilots right now. So, and it's growing. It's growing. You know, where I put on Instagram a long time ago or Facebook, our first all-female crew. We now have that all the time. That was one. You know, I came from the music business, and I still see myself as a musician. I was sitting there thinking, why does the airline industry cut out 50% of the workforce? You know, and then say there's a pilot drain. It's illogical, right? A woman can run a country; she can certainly fly a plane. So that is so far okay. But I said culture is important, but we've got to look after people well and pay people well.
Sir, any plans to expand your cadet program, especially that Cebu Pacific just launched its all-cadetship last year?
Yeah, our cadet program's been there for a long time.
Yeah,
Any plans to expand it or grant scholarships as big as what SEMPAC has been offering?
The cadetship program started in Malaysia. We have a school there. It will be extended to us anytime this year. Although we've started internally, some of our cabin crew have turned into pilots.
I think our biggest asset.
Yeah.
We have four.
Four already.
Four cabin.
Within the
Two
group,
male,
we
two
have
male.
about 120
Pilots.
cabin crew, and if you add it all up, about 250 staff. So we were very early in the day. Some airlines are reacting now, but from when we started 4 years ago, I saw a lot of very bright kids in my airline who could have been pilots, but just never had the financial resources. So a lot of our own a lot of the cadets come from within AirAsia. Many people join AirAsia with the full knowledge that they want to become a pilot as well, so they'll take any job with the ability. So we have my dispatch boy is a pilot. We have, as I said, lots of cabin crew, etc. that are pilots.
Okay, thank you for giving Lala.
Now that you've gained a strong foothold in ASEAN, what's next? Are you planning to expand your footprint outside ASEAN? Or?
Yeah, I mean, well, we're not there fully on ASEAN.
Yes.
I mean, we've just gone from caterpillar to baby butterfly in Philippines, and we've got a bit more work. Indonesia, we're doing so well, and then every volcano starts to explode, and it's, so we've got a bit of work to do there. We've just hired a geologist to forecast every volcano, and so lots more to do in ASEAN still. That's still my drive, but obviously we have an airline in India, and we have an airline in Japan, and given the chance, which we appear to be being given the chance, I would take an opportunity in China as well. I mean, who wouldn't with 1 billion people there? So, but focus still remains ASEAN for me.
Thank you for Lala, the last 8 minutes.
Oh, last 8
Yeah.
minutes. Okay, this is for my book.
Your book.
I'm writing a book on the Philippine conglomerates.
Yeah.
I have chapters for each of the major family-owned conglomerates, basically.
Big book then.
Big topic, yes. And two groups basically focus on aviation. But it's one of their major, one of their core businesses.
Yeah.
The TAN and the Cocoa groups.
Oh yeah.
Your friends. You mentioned I first met you in 2004 when you announced you were launching your operations in Clark.
Yeah.
From then on, sometimes you mention something on the regulatory side that essentially shows off you were pissed with how policies were influenced by your competitors. How has it been since then?
Well, let me put Lance is a friend, right?
Yes.
We're tough competitors, and we will fight our corners, but we're friends, right? So, yeah, without a doubt, I believe, with no evidence, but the Philippines is not unique. I mean, I'm having it in Japan right now with JAL and ANA. Of course, at the early days, I don't think the regulators, we were on an even field. I don't believe we were. I believe we are now, but in the early days, I would sit there aghast at some of the decisions. I mean, our airline was grounded for virtually nothing. Within 24 hours, it was like.
You were given permits.
Sorry?
Your permits were up to a certain number of months only.
No, it wasn't that. It was just grounded. It was taken away. So that was bizarre, and remains one of the most bizarre moments for me in my aviation career. So, but I mean, I take a different approach to life, and I think competitors, we don't focus on competitors. If you listen to our management meetings, we don't sit there talking about Cebu or PAL. My message to my team is if they're better than me, then we deserve to be kicked. We've got to focus on what we do and make sure we're the best at it. And we always focus on growing the market and doing innovative things and doing different things. We're not about taking market share. We've never in my 16 years sat down and complained about a competitor or blocked a competitor. That is not in my DNA or any of my staff's DNA, because the consumer will choose who's the best. And if we deserve to be number 2 or 3, then we have to pick ourselves up. So we focus on ourselves and how we can make it better. And I think unfortunately a lot of airlines are obsessed with regulatory and obsessed with all that. And spend their time on negative competition as opposed to positive competition.
Or defending their turf. This is
I
their
defend my turf.
Okay.
For sure I defend my turf. But I defend my turf in a proactive way, being aggressive. I don't go to the government and say, well, block this airline or stop this or pull away their license. I don't do that. We just make sure we're better. Nothing wrong in defending your turf.
Which is something that as you mentioned, you've also experienced in other markets.
Yes, yeah.
How different or similar are?
No, I don't think it's any different, really. I really don't.
I mean, the style, the techniques, and
well, you know, if you look at
dealing with
no,
a disruptor like yourself.
Pretty similar. I mean, to be honest, you look at India.
Ah, okay, that's a different ballgame. Let's not go
India,
to India.
Philippines,
Yeah.
not so dissimilar.
Ah.
so no, I don't think Philippines is any different.
So the playbook that you've seen played here, you've experienced in other markets
Yes,
as well.
yes.
Tell me more about Lance Gokong. You said
Lance,
your friends?
yeah. Lance is I used to always joke whenever I did a speech, it would be somewhere in the speech I'd say, oh, Lance Gokong is here, so I'm changing my speech.
These are in the industry events, public events.
Yeah, Credit Suisse. I mean, I'm very outspoken, right? I have fun. But we're fun. We've talked about things. We've talked about cooperation. But we're very proud of our airlines, and we're proud of it. So I don't think we could ever probably work together in that aspect. But yeah, we're very civil to each other.
Oh, you don't like tell him, oh, you played dirty.
No, but you're about to. No, and I have no evidence of that at all, right? It's just hearsay, anything.
Even in jest.
No, I never ingest either, because I'm in your country, so you might beat me out. No, I never ingest either. No, I mean, you know, we've had many dinners together. We have many mutual friends, and Lance is a good guy. I mean, you know, he wants to win like everyone else wants to win, so that's not a problem. And so we generally don't talk about work when we see each other.
What do you talk about?
I can't tell you. All kinds of things.
Okay.
He's a good-
What about the Philippine Airlines?
I don't have as close a relationship with Philippine Airlines. I don't really know them. I know the CEO, who's a very nice guy, very decent man. I don't know the shareholders at all. I've never really met I've met them briefly. I've met some of the kids briefly, but I don't really know them.
We don't have like
No, Lance I could text.
Okay.
I don't know anyone to text.
How have your relationship with Lance been over the years? I mean, since you've had some encounters with them, and not just in Manila, but way back when you were starting in Clark.
Yeah. It's funny you ask me that. I've never thought of it, but they're obviously, you know, when we opened in Terminal 4.
He copied you.
Yeah. Hey, but I copied Southwest, right?
Yeah.
Nothing is exclusive, right? I copied Ryanair. There's nothing wrong with that. Imitation is the best form of flattery, right? Yeah, I mean, look, we went to Terminal 4, then suddenly they bought Tiger Air, and they put planes in there, and yeah, sure, they try to squeeze us out wherever we can, right? We'd like to expand Terminal 4, but they have a rundown cargo division there, which really shouldn't be there. You know, so until today, when you ask me all these things, I'll probably never talk to him again. No, we're joking. We don't have a problem. He's a great guy. He's fine. He's fighting his turf. He's done a lot for the Philippines, and we hope we can do the same. I just think that the Philippine market is so big that there's enough for all of us, and there's enough for all of us to compete, and that we should be focusing on positive competition. But you know, for your book, I don't think the Philippines is any different, and they've exerted any different pressure on me than in any other country. That's the honest truth.
Okay, thank
And
you.
I always speak the truth. And that's why I
Oh,
get in
yes.
trouble.
Yes.
You said yes with thanks, Lala.
You're very transparent.
Yeah,
Yeah.
too transparent sometimes.
Thank you.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Breath of fresh air for us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good luck in your book.
Thank you.
Let's go. She was getting nervous, I think. See you, everyone. Take care.